The best suppressed MX9 class setup is going to have a suppressor, hybrid mags, rapid fire, along with gung ho, dead silence, and ghost. I know a few people are only clicking on the video for the class setup, which is perfectly fine. After you take that screenshot, make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe so you'll be able to find your way back to the channel. So since my channel is about helping other players improve at Call of Duty, the rest of the video is going to be geared towards how to use this class setup and not just having the class setup, which for the most part, the how to use the class setup is way more important than the actual class setup. So for those of you guys who have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I'm not a big fan of the MX9. Not because it's particularly hard to use, because it has a very slow time to kill, right up there with the GKS, which I think both need a buff. That being said, you can still use this weapon effectively, go on long streaks, as long as you're playing to its strengths. And I've started actually experimenting a little bit with dead silence and ghost, especially in those lobbies where the enemy team cannot stop calling in UAVs because my teammates are dying as fast as possible. And what I've started to notice, particularly with those lobbies, is when I switch to a class that has dead silence and ghost, I'm able to chain enough kills together that allow me to get my score streaks and change the tide of the match. So when you're using the MX9, especially since it is a little bit on the weaker end, it's even more important for you to take advantage of the movement in the game. So that includes sliding, jumping, strafing. You want to go ahead and make sure you're using all of those things. Obviously, you should use those with other weapons as well, but it becomes even more important when you're using weapons with a little bit slower time to kill. So that kind of goes for the pistols as well as the MX9 and the GKS. It really comes down to playing to the strengths of the weapon. Obviously with the ICR, it's a laser beam with grip 1 and grip 2. So ideally you want to take on longer engagements. And knowing that the MX9 generally shoots marshmallows, the key is that you want to make sure you're taking advantage of the strengths it does have. And that is all related to mobility. And that's one of the main reasons I included gung ho, because in case you guys didn't know, you have to be pretty much full on sprinting for ghost to work and keep you off the UAV. So gung ho is going to be the perfect counter, since it's going to go ahead and reduce that sprint out time, so you're less likely to get caught off guard. As you're coming around sprinting around the corner, you'll still have a chance to win that gunfight. So last attachment I'll go ahead and talk about is rapid fire. And the reason why I went with rapid fire over high caliber is because rapid fire will automatically reduce the time to kill in every single gunfight, whereas high caliber will be a significantly smaller percentage. So now we'll go ahead and transition to the gameplay breakdown on Arsenal TDM, where I get pretty much half of the kills. You'll kind of see how this thing plays out, because the enemy team really love to camp in the vents. Also, just as a heads up, the camo that I'm using on the MX9 that's being featured in the gameplay as well as the thumbnail is called the Megalodon camo, and it's free, it's within the reserves, and it was just added as part of the Days of Summer event. So I was actually surprised no one went to this middle room on this opening rush. It looks like my teammates were able to get a couple kills on the outside of the building, and I'm thinking maybe the spawns flipped, and then I see the mini map and it looks like they're still locked down in this area. Come through, take out this guy with body armor, peek this guy on the left, take him out, and there was another third one right there, but the guy's name didn't even pop up, so I didn't even notice him. He didn't move or anything like that. He was rocking 0, so he was just sitting in the corner there. Come through the spawn. That guy looks like he's AFK or whatever the case is. I'm able to take him out. So now I'm just kind of posted up, seeing what happens right here. I'm really just waiting for the spawns to flip. The second my teammate spawns in, I know I'm in a good area. And I think this is where people sometimes make a mistake. They will just push right out of spawn, the enemy spawn in, and then they end up getting shot in the back. You don't want that to happen. I'm able to clean up that guy. This guy's just sitting at the mid. Teammate is not even looking at him. So I was able to clean up that kill pretty easily. And now what I'm seeing is there's a guy in the vent. I peek him. I'm kind of wall banging there, but obviously there's not enough bullet penetration without FMJ. See a guy through here, take him out, and you can see how I'm moving. I'm continually strafing in these gunfights, and you can see there's probably like 2 or 3 people in the vents. I'm just pre-aiming this guy because you can see he's about to come out of the vent. I don't want to make his job easy for him, so I'm kind of taking an angle where I'll be able to see him significantly faster than he can see me. At this point, I'm actually feeling really good. I already got my sniper's nest and my strike team, and you can see the way that this tripwire is here. I thought it was a little bit better done when I just kind of glanced at it, so I was trusting that that would actually stop someone from coming through that door. And you'll see how that plays out right now. I end up potatoing a little bit of my aim. I wasn't really expecting the guy to come through the door. I was debating if I want to go around the outside with the strike team. This guy comes through, absolutely melts me. I should have landed my shots a little bit better. And it's at this point that the streak actually starts. Right here, you can see we're losing. Even though I have a sniper's nest and a strike team, I have teammates going quad negative, penta negative already. So I got to go ahead and start controlling the match. A lot of times what's happening is people are camping in the vent, and that kind of ruins the flow of the map, because where you think people would be, they're not necessarily where they're supposed to be. And then also people camping in the vent, a lot of times the streaks are not able to kill them because the strike team will not go in the vent. The sniper's nest cannot hit anyone in the vent. So it's probably a really safe area to be if you're just looking to camp. Right here you can see I'm coordinating my strike team, trying to position myself so I can move around the map. I'm pushing out, seeing if anyone's there, and I'm with a teammate. So I'm not just looking blindly, I'm seeing what's going on, trying to lock down this area. There is someone in the vent, and you can see that they continue to be in the vent. And honestly, if you're trying to actually get better at the game, you probably almost never want to go in the vent unless you're just trying to take someone out in the vent. And right here you can see how I'm using cover to my advantage. I end up taking damage, but I play it the right way where I'm not in a position where I'm going to get killed. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to movement. Obviously, if I was stationary, I probably would have ended up dying there. There's a guy coming through right here. Because of the slow time to kill and me missing maybe a bullet here or there, I'm not able to clean up this guy. But he goes ahead and re-challenges. I'm able to take him out. He's looking down the way at my teammate, so I know I'm in a pretty good spot. Looks like there's 2 people in the vent. So I'm thinking maybe I got to go ahead and flank around. So the main goal for me was to keep my feet moving because I want to make sure I'm taking advantage of ghosts. I don't know if they have a UAV in the air in this moment, but I'm just kind of rushing around, seeing what's going on, trying to make a smart play in the moment. Looks like someone's in there. It looks like the guy's probably going to rush out. And as I push forward, my teammate ends up cleaning up that kill, so I don't even need to get involved with that. And then I decide to push back towards the middle of the map, keeping in mind that there's people in the vent. You can see I'm kind of focused on that. I've seen him on the mini map multiple times. Trying to land a couple shots there. I get behind cover. Seen if my teammate can land some shots there, and it doesn't end up working out. I try to land a few more shots, and then I kind of back off. I make sure the area behind me is pretty clear. You can see there's teammates flooding in. And then I decide to take a different angle on this vent. I'm waiting for this guy to creep out. If he creeps out, I'm be able to kill him. And just like that, I'm able to get the sniper's nest. I rotate back to where I'm safe. Make sure the sniper's nest comes in, and then I go ahead and peek out, seeing if I can land a few shots here. That is not the sight line. I go ahead and dip out immediately. And you'll kind of see a rhythm to the match where I end up getting close to getting the next streak. So what I'm going to do is play as cautious as possible, try and cherry pick the kills when I can. Right here I am in the middle of the map. I'm not sure exactly who's going to engage me, but I know there's multiple. I got to go ahead and choose this gunfight wisely because I know there's someone in the vent. I know there's someone on the left side. I go ahead and help out my teammate. Gets a little bit distracted. I get out of there. I know someone's behind me. A lot was going on there, but I did manage to get that strike team. And now that I'm back at full health, I'm able to go back to the middle of the map. Obviously, I got to practice a little bit of patience, know where my teammates are. And I'm expecting there's going to be another guy in the vent here because he just killed my team and he's walking up through the vent, or at least I'm expecting him to walk through the vent. And right now he doesn't end up popping out. But one thing I did want to talk about those vent campers is more often than not, whoever's sitting in that vent, they're typically going to go on a streak. And because of that, a lot of people end up rushing in there trying to stop them from going on a streak, but inevitably lead to them getting a streak because they're just feeding them kills. So right here is a pretty close gunfight. I'm already a little bit damaged, trying to heal, turn around, end up getting into the gunfight with this guy. I snapped down a little bit late, but because I jumped out, the guy missed a few shots and I was able to survive that engagement. So right now, before I push, I am trying to get to full health. That is always important. As they come out, I take out this first guy. They don't know I'm here because I have the suppressor. And you can see that my team is starting to funnel into this area. Strike team coming around the other side. So I know I'm in a pretty good spot here. And I have no clue why my teammate did it, but they ended up putting the barricade right here, which comes in really clutch. You're going to see how I end up maneuvering around this barricade, and it keeps me safe as people are pushing out of spawn. You can see that's not the engagement I want to take. This guy ends up shooting at me. I get behind cover, end up strafing, end up taking him out. So the cover ended up working for me perfectly. Paying attention to the mini map. Now I'm getting kind of swarmed a little bit because they are spawning directly outside this door. You can see there's multiple pushing through. I'm able to laser that guy at range. I go ahead and back off a little bit off that barricade because I know I'm not in the best spot to take that engagement. The reason I got that first guy is because he wasn't even paying attention. I go ahead and shoot this guy because he's in an engagement. Paying attention to the minimap though, you can see when that guy pops up on the minimap. If you rewind it and watch it back a couple times, you can see when they pop up on the minimap, how soon I'm able to snap on them. And more often than not, I think a lot of people have trouble looking at the minimap on a regular basis. And that's why I highly recommend minimizing that HUD as much as possible, because half the time you're looking at the minimap and half the time you're looking at the middle of the screen. So in my opinion, especially on a larger screen, that's going to minimize that distance and make your eyes have to work significantly less. And then you can see my favorite specialist, Nomad, has brought his dog to play. Luckily, I go ahead and get out of there. They were chasing me and my teammate was able to direct focus fire them and insta kill them, which was very nice. Because 9 times out of 10, my teammate doesn't kill him behind me, and they basically chase me until I die. For this gunfight here, if I had FMJ, or if he didn't have body armor, he's 100% dead. I can see this guy on the minimap. I'm already kind of pre-aiming, strafing. The guy was caught reloading, so I didn't really have to get into a gunfight there. And the funny thing I'll point out is now one of my teammates is in the vent, and they're stopping the enemy players from getting into the vent, so my streaks are actually able to do work. And right here, looking at the minimap, I know someone's behind me, so I got to take this guy out, turn around, assume they're over here. And you can see there's actually a couple of them. The strike team's able to come through. The guy's sitting in the smoke. I don't know why my teammate's running at me. I was just firing preemptively. And And you can see there is a guy over here on this left side, kind of seeing if I can get the angle as he peeks out, see if I can get a little kill there, because the long sight line is not the sight line I want to take. And more often than not, when I look at subscriber gameplay, a lot of time is the decision making in those gunfights. They're running on with an SMG, but they'll challenge someone at range, which 9 times out of 10 we can agree is not the smartest idea, but you see it on a regular basis. So right now I'm just trying to rush in, seeing if I can get any extra kills. That guy ends up getting killed, and then I come around the corner here, and some random melee dude ends my streak. Unfortunately, that's how the streak ended. I ended up being 47-2 at the end of the match. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please remember to hit that like button. If you'd like to find your way back, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. I do put out content on the daily. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.